What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got an excellent couple of for hire duels for you guys to check out, but with an Oliver twist. We have Orcus for hire, and it's interesting. We all know at this point that Orcus are 2019's most splashable engine. I really wish Konami would just go ahead and get rid of freaking Nightmare Mermaid, and then we wouldn't have this in every deck. But it's interesting because we all know that for hire is like a swarming archetype. They all have the effect that special summons like for hire monsters from their hand, and then when a for hire monster is summoned while they're face up on the field, each one of these little guys has like a bonus effect. And Fogo, their link monster, really ties everything together. If you destroy one of your opponent's cards while he's face up on the field and you got a bunch of for hires, you get to draw a billion cards, and that's where kind of the Orcus side can take over, because you then can go into Ball Sword and the Orcus combo and stuff like that. You guys will see what I mean in this first duel. It's going to perform beautifully, although his opponent, maybe a little bit of Brick City here. I think Fire Fist, well, I mean, the deck has a high ceiling, but if you have the Ritual Monster and you're not actually dropping it, yeah, you done messed up. And you can see that he did get the Fire Fist counter trap. It's cool, but it does not cover monster effects. You guys know how I feel about Infernity Barriers that don't stop monster effects. If this freaking card would have stopped monster effects, I guarantee you people be playing Fire Fist competitively right now. And it's sad because he has 6 monsters, so this card gives him no value. And you can see he's just going to pop it immediately. He's going to summon, just look at this, 4 monsters. This is the power for hire when all the monsters basically are kind of extenders for another monster in hand, and you can easily link summon. You can gain life points, summon Fogo. Fogo will activate. He's adding one from his graveyard. He's going to go with Beat. That means he'll probably be able to activate Beat's Rhoda effect. Then this one will also let him special summon from the hand, and then it'll Monster Reborn one. I mean, this is crazy. He went for a Link 3, right? And just keep in mind, that's 3 monsters put into 1. And guess what? Just like 2 seconds later, my man has 6 monsters on board. Like, that is crazy. Now, if he kills any of his opponent's cards, he'll get to draw like 4 cards. He's going to get an orchestrated crescendo to his hand for free. So that's pretty nice. And now he can just pop a card, draw a couple more cards, and then he can go into the Orcus combo. I'm pretty sure with the amount of monsters that he has, he should be able to kill, especially if he goes for like Dingirsu here. And Dingirsu, okay, so he's like, Cap, I don't even need no stinking Ball Sword. I'm gonna just show this guy a Crush Gion and this game's over. But yeah, if he would have went for Dingirsu here, Dingirsu probably would have wanted to send a card from his opponent's field to the graveyard. Usually Dingirsu, the first time you summon it, you equip, but right here it's like, why not just go ahead and get rid of one of these cards so that you can just potentially game your opponent? It just feels like it would be a little smarter in that instance. So you guys can see he walked all over the Fire Fist player. This one's going to be completely different. I was just stunned by this duel. We got True Draco with Battle Traps. I like it. The spicy 2007 Yu-Gi-Oh attack. Okay, I'm feeling it. He wants to take us back to like the GX era. Anyways, he's going to start out relatively like conservative. He does have the orchestrated crescendo, so at least he does have a counter trap. And I don't know what he's going to get from Galatea, if he's going to go ahead and get the Babble, or if he'll get the draw spell, because he is playing that. But he's just going to probably make Dingirsu at some point just to give his field a little bit of protection. He equips one of his monsters, and let's see. He activates Disciples, and this guy ain't messing around. As soon as he activates a True Draco card, he just instantly negates it. I think you might have to here, because the thing is, if you let a True Draco player tribute this card, then you just lose your crescendo for nothing anyways. I actually wonder why he even activated this. Why not just set it and then tribute it? Then you just get rid of the crescendo like altogether. But whatever. Pot of Duality is gonna fetch him a Mirror Force. This guy really likes Battle Traps. He's gonna try to pop the Dingirsu, but obviously has protection. He'll get an attack in, and that's about it. This is where the True Draco Battle Trap troll actually comes in handy. He tries to go for Nightmare, the Nightmare Unicorn. He'll chain the effect of Ignis Heat, then he'll chain the effect of Monarch's Erupt on top of that. And at this point, I was like, uh-oh, I feel like True Draco's gonna run this guy over. Get Mirror Force. You guys laughed at him when he showed the Mirror Force early. He was like, laughing now. Now he's what is this, +5, something like that? 2, 4, yeah, he's +5 in the duel. His opponent activates Climax. He don't care. He's just gonna get himself a Surge, and he should be able to easily close this game out by getting that spell. And he has the biggest monster on field, and we already know Effect Veiler is generally trash versus like True Draco, and he is just going to continually get more searches. I think he would probably want to draw into a Diagram right now, because usually when you have this many spells and traps, you need Diagram to kind of be the card that gets you more monsters. D-Prison taking out the Equestrian. Let's go. The battle traps are in the house. He is going to continue on, and he did get the other monster that he needed, getting that Ignis Seed. He even has a backup copy of the Monarch's Erupt, and he has Inspector Border. I would consider probably setting the Inspector Border maybe, and then just trying to maybe flip summon it during your next turn, because I think he did Tribute off of one of the True Draco spell effects. Now, actually, I don't think he did. I think that was his normal summon. The interesting thing is, the Orcust player is not giving up. It looks like he just wants to go Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh! And essentially just try to win this duel by going a Equestrian beatdown. And as crazy as this is, it's actually kind of working. The Equestrian is the biggest monster on field, and even though this guy has a billion spells and traps, he can't seem to out this damn thing. He really, I cannot stress this enough, this dude needs to get the Dragonic Diagram, not just for the attack gain, but for the freaking access to get to other cards. He's going to use Called by the Grave on Ignis Seed, and would you look at this, the comeback has been finalized somehow, some way. Equestrian Vanilla Beatdown actually gives For Hire Orcust the win. I don't think he should have won this duel at all. I don't understand why you're running Moon Mirror Shield. Even if the battle traps weren't troll, I think that the Moon Mirror Shield was probably troll. Diagram better not be the next card on his deck. Okay, it was Mirror Force. I was going to say, if it was Diagram, I feel so bad for this guy, but, you know, sometimes them be the breaks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyways, I guess we'll pause for a second and check the deck out. Alright, and this is what the deck looks like on paper. As you guys can see, your standard small lineup of Orcust monsters right here. Actually, this isn't that small if you really look at it. A lot of Orcust builds don't run like 2 symbol skeleton, they just run like 1 of it. And even with the World Wand, most people just run like 1 copy of that. These two you're used to seeing a couple of copies of, but this Orcust engine is actually bigger than usual. I think it's because he runs orchestrated return, and not just 1 but like multiple copies of that. So I think that's the reason why so many For Hire monsters in here. And even some of the ones like, I don't even know what this one does. Dyna Hero For Hire, like he's running some of the really obscure ones. Sagitta Maverick For Hire, like I'm not really used to seeing those cards, but I guess the more the merrier, because as I've said before, all the For Hire monsters for the most part can summon other For Hire monsters. I don't think this guy can, but most of them, they can just like special summon a For Hire monster from his hand. Only hand trap he's playing is Effect Veiler. He obviously don't care about no spell and trap effects, just monster effects, and then your only trap card is just going to be your Orchestrated Climax. I like playing, or I like seeing people play 2 copies of this card, because sometimes the first one can just kind of stunt your opponent's turn. Maybe you hit them with, I don't know, like an Effect Veiler plus a Climax, and that's like, or Crescendo, and that's good enough. But then in like the follow-up turn, maybe you use the second one to kind of close the game out and be that negation against that key card that you don't really have an answer for. But then again, Crescendo has an answer for basically